Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My setup is a little bit different, and that's because I'm in a completely different room. I'm in a completely different apartment. I'm still living in the same apartment complex as before, which is why the furniture is the same, my bedding, everything's the same. I have new suite mates, I'm on a different floor, and I can say with confidence that the vibes in this apartment are way better than the last, and my suite mates are way better than my last roommate situation. It was a very messy roommate situation, and I'm going to tell you guys about that today. And before I get into it, I want to preface and say this star patch is a pimple patch, all right? Every single time I leave my apartment, at least one person comes up to me and asks why I have a sticker on my face. I really thought that after all these years of people wearing stickers on their faces, people would know that it's a pimple patch, but a lot of people don't know. So, for anyone who's wondering, it's a pimple patch, okay? Currently, it is June, and I moved into my old apartment back in September. I moved in September, so did this girl, and we're gonna call her Sarah, because I don't want to dox her, I don't want to use her real name. Sarah and I became very close over time, pretty quickly. We started hanging out, we started talking, and we were friends. We weren't best friends, we weren't on bestie level, but we were very comfortable with each other and we would hang out almost every day in some way. One weekend, I remember this was the first weekend I actually went to visit my dad after I moved. I packed my suitcase, I left, and I did not lock my door. It didn't even cross my mind to lock my door, if I'm being honest. I remember shutting it. That I remember. I trust this girl, we're friends, there's no way she's gonna go in my room and there's no way she's gonna steal anything. Obviously I had some important documents and stuff in my room, but I kept those locked up, for sure. But my room itself, I didn't lock it. I came back from my dad's place that weekend, and throughout the week, I was looking for this blue top that I bought. It was a new blue top. It was gorgeous. I loved it. And I couldn't find it in my room. So my mind was immediately like, oh, maybe I took it to my dad's place. Maybe I left it there and I forgot. I remember texting my dad being like, hey, can you check? Did I leave this blue top? And he was like, nope, don't see it here. It's nowhere. I was like, okay, that's really weird, but it still didn't cross my mind that someone stole it. Then I watched Sarah walk into the apartment with a guy, and she's wearing my blue top and she's wearing a jacket over it. So I see her wearing my blue top, she sees me see her, and she immediately covers herself up with her jacket. I already saw you wearing my top, what are you covering up? I was fuming. I was really mad because there's one thing when you borrow someone's clothes but you ask them first. There's another thing where you steal it, you wear it, and then you hide it. I texted her immediately. I was like, have you seen this blue top? I was giving her the description. I even told her, can you check the tag on that blue top that you were just wearing? Can you check the tag on that? Because it should say garage, size small. It should say where it's from and the size. She never responded to my texts. So then when I saw her in person, I was like, hey, where's my blue top? She was completely denying it. She was like, I don't know, I haven't seen anything like that. She pretended to rummage through her room and look through all her clothes, and she was like, I really don't see anything. And she has a cat, by the way, so she used to blame a lot on her cat. Oh, he probably dragged it in here. Whatever, okay? I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. We're friends. Literally months down the line, she comes to me with my blue top, and she's like, hey, is this the top you were looking for? I just randomly found it in my room, in my laundry. And I was like, yeah, that's the top. I look on the back, I look at the tag, and the tag is all cut up. So basically, after getting those texts, she had the consciousness to go to that top and cut up the tag so that if I ever find it in her room, I can't blame her for taking it. I can't say that's exactly the same blue top that I had in my room, which is really messed up if you think about it, right? At that point, I don't even know why she returned it months later. Now, at some point, we had a third girl living with us. She only lived with us for a few months, but this girl also experienced her packages getting stolen by Sarah, her groceries getting stolen by Sarah. We're gonna call the third girl Lucy, okay? Not using her real name either. Sarah's a thief, Lucy's the third roommate. Lucy was hardly ever home. She would travel between states, I believe. So whenever Lucy had a package from the mailroom that needed picking up, she would shoot me a text and she'd be like, hey, can you pick up my package? I would pick it up. Whenever Lucy would come home, I would just give her package, or I would leave it in front of her door. That's completely normal. Lucy was not friends with Sarah, by the way. Sarah was not nice to her. I'll get into that in a bit. But Lucy came home one day and she was like, hey, Risha, did you pick up my package? It's not there. And I was like, nope, I did not pick up your package. I only pick it up when you ask me to. And she asked me, do you think Sarah picked up my package? And I immediately texted Lucy. I was like, I really doubt Sarah would pick up your package. First of all, you guys don't talk. And second of all, I would know about it. Like, me and Sarah hang out all the time. I would know if she took your package and had the intention of giving it to you. Now, I don't know what Lucy did. I think she asked front desk where her package was, and for some reason they had it on file that it was handed to Sarah. Obviously, if front desk handed it to Sarah, they thought that Sarah would give it to Lucy. Obviously, we all live in the same apartment. So Lucy was texting Sarah and she was like, hey, did you pick up my package? Can I have it? Sarah didn't respond to her texts. Again, very annoying. She does not respond because obviously she doesn't want to be exposed. Apparently, much later, Sarah left Lucy's packages in front of her door. Some of the items were missing, and the items that she did put in front of her door were already taken out of the package and opened up, which is absurd. It's just the fact that Sarah never would have returned anything at all if it wasn't written on file that she had taken Lucy's packages. No apology, no offer to pay for what was opened or pay for what she didn't even give back, nothing. So that was insane. That is literally theft. And then throughout the year, we had so many issues with stealing groceries and stealing food. Keep in mind, this girl is not poor. When I was first telling this story to my friends and my family, they were like, maybe she just really can't afford anything and this is how she copes. No, this girl DoorDashes food 2 to 3 times a day. This girl has money. The amount of money that she spends on DoorDash in 2 days is the amount of money that I spend for an entire week of groceries. She is not poor. She gets money. I don't know from where because she doesn't work, but she's not poor. When it came to groceries, it wasn't that she was just using a little bit of my ketchup or she was maybe taking a soda from the fridge. No, this girl would straight up steal entire meals. I remember this one time from Whole Foods, I ordered this really big jug of orange juice. And I was so excited about this orange juice. You know, I was looking forward to it. I put it in my fridge. And literally the next morning, I go to my fridge and the orange juice is gone. The entire thing. I immediately knew she took it. I was so angry. I knocked on her door, but I opened it and she was sitting at her desk with a big jug of orange juice next to her. Half of it was gone. Half of the orange juice was out of the bottle. I look at her and I'm like, have you seen my orange juice? I feel like I'm going crazy. I feel like I'm going insane. Her face immediately turned bright red. And she was like, no, shaking her head, and she's like closing her door because the orange juice is right there. I also peeped some of my dishes in her room at the time. Her room stunk. It was like, it smelled like rotting food. I peeped some of my dishes and it had like rotting food in it. The thing is, I only brought like 4 dishes, like 2 bowls, 2 plates into the apartment, but those are mine, okay? And they were gone. Like, they were lost, and I knew that she took them, but she was just never giving them back. What I didn't expect is that she would have those dishes rotting in her room with literal rotting food for months. I have text messages, I have receipts of me being like, dude, you need to put my dishes in the sink. What am I gonna eat out of? Until I just resorted to paper plates and paper bowls. And you gotta realize the reason why I wasn't going and complaining about her was because we were close, like we were friends. I don't think that I did not set strong enough boundaries. I definitely did, but I definitely should have gone and complained about her way sooner. Also, Sarah had cameras in her room, and it's funny because she didn't have cameras in her room when she first moved in. She got them later when our third person moved in, and she was like, I don't trust Lucy. I'm putting cameras in my room. Who knows if she'll steal my stuff? Mind you, Lucy was the sweetest person ever. First of all, she was never home. Like, she didn't even live here. And second of all, she had done nothing. Nothing for Sarah to ever think that she would be stolen from. Which is so funny because thinking back, she was just snitching on herself. Like, you're the one going and stealing people's things, but you're putting cameras in your room. She probably thinks that everyone steals each other's things. Anyway, the most recent and literally my last straw. This was my last straw, and this was actually a lot of people's last straw, which is what got me to send in complaints about her, evidence, and move my apartment. Last month, I was at my mom's place for the weekend, just chilling there with her, my siblings, and I get a call from my friend. It turns out that Sarah was stealing random people's packages from the mailroom, and one of those people turned out to be one of my friends. Now, my friend is in a sorority, and the package that got stolen was a sweat set, I believe, that had the sorority name on it. The way she found out that Sarah took it is Sarah was walking with some guy one night, and she was wearing the sweat set. And apparently my friend went up to her, and she was like, "Hey, where did you get that sweat set?" And Sarah goes, "Oh, my roommate Risha gave it to me. She's in the sorority." Number one, I am not in the sorority. Number two, she used my name. She used my name for a stolen package. That is absurd. That is insane. I do not deserve that. Everything she's doing is straight up illegal now. When my friend told me this, I was like so mad. Me and 4 other girls got together and we were like, we're gonna take this girl down. So that's when I sent in all my complaints, all the evidence, which thankfully I had evidence. The managers here were super helpful and super understanding, and they were pissed too, because who wouldn't be? If people are getting their packages stolen by this girl, now there's a bad reputation for the apartment complex. But I've heard she's on lists now. Everyone knows in the building what she does. Everyone keeps an eye out for her. And I really hope that she is on some sort of an eviction list. But basically, I remember coming back from my mom's place and confronting her face to face. I told her about what I knew, and I looked at her and I was like, first of all, you're stealing packages, and second of all, you're using my name. I remember she just looked at me, she stared at me for a few seconds, in disbelief, I guess. Her face turned bright red, as it does, and she went in her room, slammed the door, never talked to me again. She ended up blocking me and my friends on social media. What got me is she started being very hostile towards me. Hostile energy in the apartment. She started slamming doors a lot, snarky comments, mean faces, just being very rude to me for no reason when it was all entirely her fault. It was her doing. But yeah, I was like, I gotta move out of here. Other people are managing her case right now. Like, maybe she will get evicted, maybe not. That's none of my business. I can't live here anymore. I'm moving out. And so the past 24 hours, I was packing up, moving out, so happy. And I'm so lucky and grateful that my current situation is a million times better than what I was living in before. The funny thing is, she will 100% find out about this video that I'm filming because she is subscribed to my channel. Back when we were friends, she used to talk about how she watches all my videos. She will definitely find out about this video. I did not dox her. I needed to vent this out. I needed to let it out, and now, no more resentment. Put everything in the past, put everything behind me, and just start fresh. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. I hope it was entertaining. If you guys have any other video suggestions, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one.